All right, ladies and gents. Today I'm gonna make a video about my settings. I've been asked nicely by many people, that is just these two guys, regarding my settings. So, yes, I will just go straight to it. You can copy, pause the video, and just copy pretty much what I have. And then I will go through a couple of things that I would say, main things that you should check to make sure that you have the most optimal gaming experience and the best settings that you can have based on what you have available to you. So, without further ado, I will just go through the whole settings menu, and you can just copy it, and then I will go through the part where I think are very important parts. But yeah, anyways, here we go. All right, this is pretty much my game settings. The things that you need to be aware of is that on your post processing, the contrast can vary based on which map you are playing. For Armory, which is pretty dull and very grayish, so you have a lot of bright lights inside, you want to increase the contrast to 0.7 070. And in farm or other places where you have very dark corners, you can drop this to the end, so I think it's 0.5. These will help you seeing much better in dark corners. But in Armory, if you have this to 0.5, the image is going to look way too bright and it's just going to make you blind pretty much, and you won't see nothing. And yeah, these, and then saturation is important. Not really. I like it to be very vibrant, so this works for me. If you want it to look a bit more realistic, you just drop the saturation a bit. And this, then in image, you want this one. So by default, my screen is a 1080p, but since I have a graphic card, I can actually upscale it to 2K, which made a huge difference, to be honest, because on the 1080p, everything looks quite blocky and also very blurry. So I will show you how to do that if you don't have a 2K native monitor. So I have here my NVIDIA panel. What I have done is that you go to your manage video settings and you go into your DSR and you want to activate this one. I don't know if this is different for everybody else. If you have a native 2K monitor, then you don't need that. But if you have a 1080p, this will make a huge difference into your game. Also, what I've done is I've set my resolution to be like this. And the other main thing is your refresh rate. I don't think a lot of people talk about this. If you want to game at, let's say, for example, 240 FPS, and your refresh rate is only 60, you will have a lot of tearing. So like you will have this horizontal tearing into your image. So you want to set this to the maximum you can. Sometimes when you have the DL, the upscaling up, you won't have the options to choose which refresh rate to get. So to get to this, what you should do, you should go like this. Into your advanced display, here you can select to choose the refresh rate. If you don't have it, if it doesn't show up, you go into here and you go into monitor, and then you change this to the highest you can. And this will help you a lot with the vertical tear on your settings. So this is important if you want to game at higher resolution, higher FPS. And if you have this horizontal tear, you want to have this at the maximum you can. Yeah, and then from there, you will be able to choose a higher resolution. So now I have available the 2K. This makes a huge difference, to be honest. It makes the game much better. And also with the refresh rate, I can actually game at 240 as well too. Yeah, the other thing as well too is this settings. DLSS tends to make the image slightly blurrier. But this helps me with my FPS. Like it helps to reach higher FPS, which for me makes more, I'm looking more into that to get a higher FPS. But if you are struggling with the FPS already, to make your image look even better, just turn this off, just put it to close. The other thing as well too that I should mention, it's just gonna make your screen look terrible, but this works great when you do Armory. I've set these. There you go, the settings into your color settings to be 60, 50, and 1.5. You can play around with this, but it's gonna mess up your whole screen. Your screen's gonna look very weird. I only use this for gaming. But if you have two display, you can actually set one to be your with those settings, and the other one just like a regular normal screen. So yeah, that's the extra step that I have as well too in this. I think if you manage to do these three things, that is the screen resolution, your refresh rate, and your post-processing, these three things will make a huge difference into your game. If you're like gaming on a laptop, which I used to, maybe you won't have those settings, so you might need to play around more with this. And unfortunately, if you don't have the resolution for it, maybe you might want to get a monitor. I got a very cheap one, but with a high refresh rate, but still 1080p, and the graphic card allows me to do that. So anyways, this is my quick setup guide for everything. If you want a bit more details on why I have everything set the way it is, for example, my field of view, why my controls are kind of weird, because I have, for example, where is it? My lean is one spacebar, for example, and where is it else? My jump is on Q. If you want a bit more details on why this is set this way, I can make another video and explain a bit more into details, but this is more like a quick, easy setup, and yeah, use this to make your gameplay quite nice. If you have any questions, I try to answer every comment that I have and have a nice conversation with you guys. I really enjoy that. But yeah, give a sub and like if that helps. And if you have any other questions, just write something in the comment. I will try to help you as much as I can. And yeah, so enjoy. Calamity out.